You can't see the eyes of the demon until him come calling. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question. Should or shouldn't you watch this? This is Tony Pope, live from LA, the city of fear, where the psycho vigilante killer continues his daily diet for murder. Bodies strung out, bodies with the skins ripped off, the hearts torn from the cadavers, and just recently, King Willie, the drug lord, the vicious drug lord, found in an alley just around the corner with his head cut off and his spinal column torn from the body, a fitting demise to the Prince of Powder. Join us for the Jamaican sci-fi crime thriller that we call Predator 2 from 1990.
It landed in the world's most forbidding jungle. It came for the thrill of the hunt. Now, it's coming to a different kind of jungle.
You don't know what you're dealing with.
This time, it's open season on all of us. Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Ruben Blades, Maria Conchita Alonso, Bill Paxton. Predator 2. Hunting season opens again this Christmas.
Joining me today is recurring guest Dr. Dare.
What up? Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Slap me some skins. Some human skins. The description for this one, Dr. Dare, the Predator returns to Earth, this time to stake a claim on the war-torn streets of a dystopian Los Angeles. Dystopian?
I don't know.
It takes place, they say it takes
during
place
the riots?
Well, in 1997, and it came out in 1990. Like, what a weird, like...
The world really went to shit in 7 years.
In 7 years, everything will be way different.
I think Orwell... yeah, sorry.
So, I don't know, but directed by Stephen Hopkins, who preceded this with A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Okay, wait, I gotta go back. Are you saying that the reason all the fighting in the streets, the reason for all that is because this is a dystopian future 7 years from when the movie was made?
According to the description on IMDb, yes. I don't like it, but I don't understand it.
It was a little far-fetched, but now it all makes sense.
It did seem really weird that, like... that
literally, they're just fighting, bro.
It's like a war in LA.
Is. Yes.
It's a really crazy opening. Anyway, so Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. But he also did Blown Away and The Ghost in the Darkness. So
Ghost in the Darkness was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then he just basically did TV after that. So, I don't know. Stephen Hopkins.
Thanks, Steve.
Top billed stars Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and Kevin Peter Hall.
Which one is that guy?
Kevin Peter Hall's the Predator.
Oh, yes.
He's the guy in the skin.
Yes. Sorry.
And don't forget Bill Paxton.
Oh, I love that man.
A runtime of 1 hour and 48 minutes, rated R. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says sci-fi/action.
I would say action should be first, but
IMDb says action, horror, sci-fi.
That's better.
I like that.
That's better.
I like that combo.
Yeah.
And the horror is sandwiched in the sci-fi.
There's a little horror in like... Yeah, I don't want to spoil things, but there's horror-y stuff.
Yeah, there is. Speaking of IMDb rating gives it a 6.3 out of 10 from 155,000 reviews. Rotten Tomato, however, gives it 30% from 30 critic ratings and 44% from 100,000+ audience ratings.
I'm kind of surprised at the audience rating. Like, I can see why critics would hate this. It's a clusterfuck of like... just weirdness.
It's crazy.
But how could you not enjoy it just as a viewer?
Well, and
it was amazing.
I did a lot of research on this one, and a lot of people have come back to this afterwards, and there's a cult following with it. Like they're starting to enjoy it more now. But yeah, it's not highly reviewed, but we're gonna tackle that right now.
Yeah, we'll give you the definitive answer on whether or not you should watch this.
Speaking of should or shouldn't you watch this?
John Cena.
5 reasons why you should or shouldn't watch this. 5 reasons why you should watch this. Number 1, and you tell me if I'm wrong on any of these. Danny Glover is working real hard in this sequel.
He is, dude.
Like,
he's working overtime.
He's
bro.
working over,
and he's a complete miscast, I think.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about some of that later,
yeah.
but yeah, for sure. Number 2, if you want some more violence from the previous
If you want to see
film,
the Predator kick some ass,
like many,
you got it.
Many, yeah. Number 3, there's a subtle tie-in with the comics at the end that is pretty cool that we will talk about later.
Cool.
Number 4, Gary Busey, anyone?
Dude, Gary Busey for me. I'll take one.
Yeah. And last but not least, if you want to see a Jamaican drug lord with dreads face off with an alien with dreads,
Dude.
this is for you.
Dude. I swear in the last podcast we talked, who was it who was like, this definitely was not based on
and then they go right
like
to
Rasta
it.
stuff, and then literally there's a dude that looks like he's like the Miami version, a human version of the
Yeah.
Predator. It's so weird.
They're just ripping that part off of,
Yes.
of that culture for
Yes.
sure. So I don't normally do this, but I want to give you one trivia point before we get into by the numbers.
Ooh. Why? Why now? What's your reasoning here?
Well, this is number 8 of our series, which is insane.
Yeah, it's very long.
So I skipped over a couple things. Shoot, I'll have to go back. But all of the other movies we've talked about how the horrible conditions in like Mexico and like the different working conditions.
Even back with like Rambo, not even just on this one.
Predator. Yeah, exactly. So listen to this. So the crew were excited to leave the jungle because of what we talked about the last 2 podcasts, or the Predator ones. So listen to this. The filming of the alley scene was very troublesome for the filmmakers due to the rough neighborhood. The alley was littered with garbage, most of which was used in the film, correct?
Whoa.
And plagued with large rats. Local residents, angered by the noise created by the film crew, would throw bottles and paper bags filled with feces from windows at the crew in the alley below.
That is not true. That is not true. Bags of poop.
Worst of all, the film crew found a dead body hidden among the garbage. This is a quote from the crew, from Shane.
A murder victim?
A murder victim. This is in downtown LA. The most horrible places I've ever had to film in were the alleys in downtown Los Angeles. Shane Mahan commented, and Predator 2 was shot in a lot of these disgusting alleys. They were dirty and depressing and gross, with people peeing on walls. We'd be rigging something and there would be rats in there.
Where did they film this? Is this in LA?
Yeah, they filmed it in LA. So that's just to give you an idea of like how crazy this
out of the frying pan and into the fire, dude. I can't believe it's worse. I kind of imagined you to be like, they were in the Ritz and no.
Like feces, urine, dead bodies. Imagine like
they're throwing,
hey,
what are they,
Daryl,
monkeys, dude, throwing their own shit at people?
Like,
what
hey,
is
Daryl,
this?
I'm going to set up this shot over here. Wait, there's a guy's arm right here I just found under this refuse.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now I see why you said that soon.
So setting the stage for what they went through. At the very least, please give these guys some credit for going through what they did and watch Predator 2.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just part of this for...
Spoiler alert, you should watch this.
Yes. All right.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
All right, popcorn by the numbers. I got conflicting reports on Box Office Haul, so I'm just going to give them to you.
Okay.
There was 2 different estimated box office, production costs. So 20 to 30 million was one, and then 35 million was the other, which is really high compared to the other movies. The worldwide box office haul was either 30.6 million or
What?
57 million.
Okay.
So
Either way, not great.
Either way, very poor
Yeah.
for what they were hoping to get, because they greenlit this after the success of the graphic novel after the first Predator came out. They had
Was
a graphic
that
novel.
based on a graphic novel? No, but then they made a graphic novel, and
and it
then
was
this is
super
based
popular,
on that.
and they're like, all right, let's go ahead and make this the sequel.
I need to remind myself to read that.
So set 10 years after the events in the first film and 7 years before Alien versus Predator, which comes out in 2004, and Alien versus Predator: Requiem, 2007. So that's kind of where this fits in. The
Okay.
film was recut over 20 times.
That's apparent from watching it easily.
According to the
Yeah.
director, because of more graphic shots of mutilated bodies and decapitations by the Predator. The film was initially given an NC-17 rating. This was the first
Can
time
you even
to be,
do that for violence?
Yes, that's I was talking to Angry Dane about this, and he's like, I thought it was only for like nudity. Nope, turns out it's for graphic violence.
Maybe it's because I learned about NC-17 when I was an adolescent. You know,
According to the research, my crack research team, this was
it's not just Chris, guys.
there's a whole team
It's
of
not
people
just
giving
the
me.
popcorn priest. He's good.
This was the first film to be given the newly instituted NC-17 rating in the U.S. for its graphic violence before it was recut to its final theatrical length.
Do they have an uncut, like an original?
I've never seen anything like that. Because I read so many scenes of how much more graphic the deaths were. It all got cut out.
That's why you go see this. I want to see creative. I bet you if they had left that in and released it now, it wouldn't be anything more than an R.
No.
Just people are super desensitized to the
Correct.
violence.
Correct. Of all the sequels and spin-offs to Predator, Predator 2 is the only numbered sequel, as the rest are called Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Predators, and The Predator. Which we had this issue with Rambo, right? Why either just go with the numbers or don't, because now it's so confusing, because I was looking this up to think, well, what's the next movie we're going to watch, and it's Predators with an S, which follows the Aliens with an S. Mm-hmm. But then
But
you
it's
got
the third movie instead of the second
it's
movie.
the second one, and then you got The Predator, which you just add and then it's the same as the first one. It's not good. I mean,
Yeah, you couldn't put those in order,
very easily.
like, unless you knew.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's dumb.
This is the last Predator movie for 20 years until Predators, the aforementioned Predators, comes out in 2010. However, during the 20-year gap between Predator 2 and Predators, the crossover films Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem were released, and those ones we're going to save for dessert.
Yes.
We're watching those after the
Yeah.
Predator series, based
Yes.
on what we think is the
chronological.
most correct way to watch these.
Yes.
Okay, some more numbers. Mike's handgun is a brushed chrome 357 Magnum chambered Desert Eagle Mark 7 with a laser sight.
Dude, we noticed.
That gun, it doesn't look real.
No.
Like, there's no way that's a real gun.
And none of the parts, like, it was black and chrome and like all these different colors. It looked like a toy gun.
It was huge too.
Yeah.
It looked like there was two barrels.
Everyone, that's kind of the weird thing is everyone was kind of a little too far. All the cops, they're like a little too outfitted.
Yeah.
And the criminals have they have too many rockets.
Yeah.
Like, we're in downtown LA and they're busting out rocket launchers and shit. It was a trip.
It was like-
how
it
they
was
were all
like-
equipped.
A big riot.
I mean,
And everything was over the top. Most of the acting was over the top. Like,
except at nighttime. It's
Except-
like at nighttime, all of I never thought of that. The police, nothing, and all the people who were rioting or fighting were also just like in clubs.
well, and the Jamaicans were just getting high in their old cars.
Yeah,
That was such a stereotyped, horrible scene.
It was hard stereotype,
It was hard.
dude.
Back to the guns. Liana's gun is a Sig Sauer P226 with a laser ram sight. Danny's handgun is a Smith & Wesson 4506 with weapon light attachment. And Jerry carries a nickel variant Sig Sauer P226 with a black laser sight.
Dude.
The laser sights on handguns. I mean, I'm not a gun guy, but that seems like...
It's weird, man.
It's really weird.
I'm serious. There are so many things that just were out of place, and we noticed the guns immediately in like the first scene. I think you or Angry Dan was like, what are they carrying here?
Yeah, they're so aggressive.
That's awesome.
So in the scene which Harrigan gets blamed by Deputy Chief Heineman for Danny's death, Harrigan's profile as a Los Angeles police officer on the computer monitor reads as follows. Violence prone, obsessive compulsive personality, history of excessive physical force incidents, aggression level 40% above average, and they have been an officer of the LAPD for 18 years.
Is this like a tie-in to Lethal Weapon?
I don't know.
What is this?
This means Harrigan joins the Los Angeles Police Department in 1979. It's in here because it has a number. Okay.
1970 and 40%.
And 40%. How do you know what a 40% above average aggression level is? What's normal as a cop? I mean, we probably shouldn't go down that road, but...
Ooh. Let's skip.
Skip.
No, thank you.
So, body count. I can reveal this one before because it's not spoilery. What do you think the body count is of Predator 2?
And this is total. This isn't just Predator.
Total kills. And I'll tell you how many kills the Predator has. And I'm not going to mention characters.
I would guess like 60 to 70 people.
That's pretty close. Only 44
Oh, wow.
died.
Okay.
And the math doesn't add up. 1 was by Liana, 7 by Harrigan, and 28 by the Predator. So there's some sprinkling in of
no, but like...
the guy, like the drug dealers, or I don't know. It seems low to me.
That seems low. Like, does that include spoilers?
Got to keep it spoiler free.
I caught myself. You're welcome, fans.
So these are the most important numbers. I saved them for last.
Okay.
You're going to love these. The tail number of the helicopter used by Keyes is N500NM. So important, right? No, it's not important.
I was like trying to see if it spelled boobs on a calculator or something. I think you just broke my brain.
I just grabbed it because it was a number.
Got it.
And the last one, Detective Archuletta's badge number is 1802. Very
Wait,
interesting.
is that a tie-in to the like piratey nature of the comics?
I don't think so. Because we'll get into the tie into the graphic novels in the end. But that's all I got for non-spoilery stuff and by the numbers. Anything you want to add before we
I don't
close
think
this one
so.
up?
I've already had a hard time not spoiling things. So
It's for a sequel to one of the coolest alien action movies, other than the one we've already reviewed, which is Alien and Aliens. This is a pretty good sequel. It gives you what you want. Like, what do you want out of a sequel?
I think we talked about this and kind of nailed it with Alien 4, where it's like, all I want is to see the Predator in even more over-the-top action. That's it.
Exactly.
I don't care about content. I don't care about any of the normal stuff.
And we get to see him in the daytime.
Yes.
So we get to see more of him. We get to see more of his weaponry.
Yeah.
There's an insane cool scene where he's like repairing a wound. That's one of the coolest scenes of the movie for me. You just get to see him like...
And they take their time. We talked about that when it was happening, where I think you said something to the effect of, there's no way that this scene lasts more than 2 seconds if this movie was made today. And it was like 3 or 4 minutes. They had to make all of the props, all of the
exactly.
That was maybe the most sci-fi part of the whole thing. It was awesome.
Yeah, it really brought me into like what the character of the world, the alien is. This is awesome.
100%, man.
It kind of reminds me of the Terminator, the first Terminator, when he's doing surgery on his eye in the bath in the weird hotel room.
Yes.
It's like really cool.
Yes.
So
that might have been cooler than this scene.
I mean, it's different.
It is different.
It's not cooler. It's just
that's
different.
true. It's different.
But I mean, so you got over the top acting. You got more action, arguably.
Way more, dude.
Different kind of action.
I guess that's true. They were shooting some big guns and explosions and stuff in the first one.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. That's good for me. It's not like great. The editing wasn't great.
If this had been the first movie, they would never have made another movie.
No.
But again, I don't care. You already set this up.
Yeah, and it's sad that we had to wait 20 years to get another Predator movie because you already it's like these animated films for kids. They already have all the character designs, all the 3D models. We already have this design. Keep giving us more Predator.
Well, no one wanted it, man. The box office was like,
I guess,
dismal. So,
well,
have we ever looked into like what the lifetime haul on these is?
I should look that up towards the end of our
especially
review.
With this. I think big time hits. Who cares? They were already successful, but it'd be interesting on this where it was not a commercial success.
Yeah.
When it was released, but dude, I bet this was streamed on TV. The rights. I bet there's been $200 million worth of the rights of this movie since then.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Not that you make a movie to do that, but
speaking of that, like thinking about going back in time and you get these box office numbers. And I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, The Rewatchables, which is a great podcast. And Jimmy Kimmel was on his show. And it was great. They were reviewing Saturday Night Fever.
Awesome.
And towards the end of the podcast, Jimmy Kimmel brings up this amazing idea because they were talking about box office numbers.
Okay.
And Kimmel's like, I don't know why everyone always compares the dollar amounts. He says, we should be comparing ticket sales.
Yeah, number of tickets sold.
Because he's like, there's way more tickets sold. And you would be able to really tell how popular a movie is because all the inflation crap doesn't really get you where you want to be with how popular a movie is. You got to do so much
math to get it apples to apples.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Tickets used to cost $2.
Yeah, just give us the ticket sales for each movie. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Thanks, Jimmy Kimmel.
Jamie the genius.
Well, any other parting thoughts?
No.
At this point, there may be spoilers up ahead, which is next week. So if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for a breakdown of Predator 2 from 1990. Hit me up on the Twitters and the Instas if you want to interact with the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. Drop me a line and say hi. If you've enjoyed this or any of our previous episodes, please subscribe so you can get notifications on our newest episodes. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see whatever extra perks you can enjoy.
Just do it. Do it.
As always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my guest, Dr. Dare. Always a pleasure. Join us next week for part 2 of Predator, where we strip off the skin and get to the meat and bones of this second movie of this series. We'll see you guys next week.